Illegal parking ticket may cost $400 in the future, while speeding drivers may face a penalty of up to $1,500. Electric vehicle owners may have to pay more for license, according to a tiered structure based on a vehicle's motor power. And President Xi Jinping arrives in Cambodia as the last leg of his three-nation Southeast Asia tour, highlighting China-Cambodia rock-solid ties. Good evening, you're watching Cable News. I'm Quentin Yang. Road users in the city are slated to contribute more to the city's treasury as the government has proposed significant increases in penalties for traffic violations. Illegal parking fines may escalate to $400, while speeding fines could surge by 50% to $1,500. Additionally, parking meter charges are set to rise to $4 every 15 minutes. Cheryl Yuan reports.
In a move marking the first fee adjustment in more than 3 decades, the government is initiating a comprehensive review of penalties for 19 traffic offenses. Speeding violations could see fines surge from $320 to $480, with speeds exceeding limits by 45 kilometers per hour incurring penalties of up to $1,500. Penalties for illegal parking are slated for an increase from $320 to $400, reflecting a 25% rise. Penalties for mobile phone use while driving may jump from $450 to $675, and failing to comply with traffic lights and signs could result in fines escalating from $600 to $900. Following a 31-year stagnation in parking meter fees, the government has proposed a substantial adjustment. Fees are to surge from $2 to $4 every 15 minutes, translating to a maximum hourly charge of $16. This measure aims to generate estimated revenues of $220 million and $370 million for the fiscal years 2025-26 and 2026-27 respectively. The government is also boosting efforts to expand parking facilities, including making use of elevated bridge spaces and opening up government office parking spots for public use outside office hours. Cheryl Yun, Cable News.
The government has announced a major overhaul of its electric vehicle license fee system, transitioning from a weight-based model to a tiered structure based on a vehicle's rated power. Officials estimate the changes will generate an additional $800 million in revenue by 2028. Best Learn tells us more.
The new system, set to be phased in over 3 years, aims to align EV license fees more closely with their performance, while maintaining lower costs compared to traditional fuel-powered cars. It will categorize EVs into 5 tiers by motor power, ranging from 75 kilowatts or below to over 225 kilowatts, targeting high-performance models. Fees for the lowest tier will double from $1,500 to $3,000 by 2028, while the top tier will surge from $5,000 to $11,000. This marks a significant shift from the current system, where EVs are taxed based on net weight, averaging $1,100 annually, 6 times cheaper than fuel vehicles, which pay around $7,500 on average. The government emphasized that, even after adjustments, fees for EV will remain 25% to 40% below those of fuel vehicles to uphold incentives for greener transport. Best Learn, Cable News.
In a bid to strengthen trade union regulations to safeguard national security, the Trade Unions Amendment Bill 2025 was gazetted today, imposing a lifetime ban on national security offenders from serving as trade union officers. Cheryl Yuan reports.
Under the bill, the Registrar of Trade Unions can reject trade union applications and mergers if they endanger national security, with no appeal allowed. Individuals convicted of national security offences face a lifetime ban from serving as trade union officer or forming new unions. Those in breach could be sentenced to 3 years behind bars and fined $50,000. Union officers charged or convicted of specified offences, including national security offences, must promptly notify the registrar in writing. Failure to comply or serving without approval after a conviction could trigger legal action or court orders to step down. To counter foreign influence, unions must seek registrar approval before receiving funds from external forces, such as foreign governments and political parties, and cannot use them for local elections. Violations could incur a fine of up to $200,000. Unions are banned from political groups outside Hong Kong. They are allowed to join approved foreign worker groups with member votes, while other affiliations require chief executive's consent. Similarly, union officers can take roles in approved external groups, but need approval for others and are barred from political roles abroad. Lawmaker Lam Chun Sing, chairman of the Federation of Hong Kong and Kowloon Labour Unions, believes the changes would not harm efforts to protect workers' rights, adding that the bill stops individuals who violate national security from controlling unions, while allowing workers to use unions for rights and policy reviews. The bill will be introduced into the Legislative Council for first and second readings on April 30th. Cheryl Yun, Cable News.
Police have arrested 6 individuals tied to a $20 million fraud scheme to swindle a government-backed pandemic relief loan program meant for struggling small businesses. Bess Luen reports.
The crew, aged 29 to 45, allegedly leveraged 4 companies across media, technology, logistics, and engineering sectors to submit falsified financial records and manipulate revenue data, securing loans under the 2020 special 100% loan guarantee of the SME Financing Guarantee Scheme. Notably, the parent company of local online media outlet Channel C was among the implicated firms and obtained the scheme's maximum $9 million loan. Investigators uncovered 2 methods of deception. 2 firms cycled funds through affiliated accounts for 3 months before abruptly halting transactions to fabricate a 30% revenue decline, meeting a critical eligibility threshold, while 2 others forged bank statements to feign operational legitimacy. Police raided offices and residences of the suspects yesterday, seizing bank documents, cards, checkbooks, and electronic devices. Authorities are tracing the flow of illicit funds and conducting wealth investigations, warning additional arrests may follow. Bess Leung, Cable News.
President Xi Jinping arrived in Cambodia for a state visit, the last leg of his 3-nation Southeast Asia tour. He said the China-Cambodia ties always remained rock solid. Anna Chen reports.
Arriving from Malaysia, Xi was greeted at the airport in Cambodia's capital, Phnom Penh, by King Norodom Sihamoni. This marked Xi's second visit to Cambodia in 9 years. In a written statement upon arrival, Xi noted that bilateral ties have withstood the test of global transformations, and Cambodia is a priority in China's neighborhood diplomacy. Xi attended a welcome ceremony held by the Cambodian king at the tarmac and revealed the guard of honor. During the 2-day stay, Xi will meet the king and queen mother and hold talks with Prime Minister Hu Manet. Trade will likely be a major topic of discussions. Several agreements are expected to be signed on cooperation in various sectors. A signed article by Xi was published in Cambodian media outlets ahead of the trip. The Chinese leader said the 2 countries must work together to promote the steady and sustained progress in building the China-Cambodian community with a shared future in the new era, and to bring greater stability and certainty to this turbulent world. For many years, China has been Cambodia's largest trading partner and largest source of investment, and industrial and supply chain cooperation between the two countries has been deepening continuously, Xi added. Anna Chen, Cable News.
While the White House clarified the 245% levy on some Chinese goods was not considered as new additional tariff, Beijing reiterated that it will simply ignore the numbers game. After U.S. announcement on Tuesday that some Chinese goods face 245% tariffs generated confusion, the White House clarified that the figure represented all previous and latest tariffs, dating back to the Biden and the first Trump administrations. That meant the new tariffs on China still stand at 145%. In response, China's foreign ministry said the tariff hikes no longer make economic sense, pointing out that it has become a numbers game which Beijing will simply ignore. Meanwhile, the Commerce Ministry said it has maintained communication with its U.S. counterparts, and the country is open to economic and trade negotiations on the basis of mutual respect. On the other hand, China has convened an informal United Nations Security Council meeting next Wednesday to discuss and deepen the understanding of the harm caused by unilateralism and bullying, while accusing Washington of weaponizing tariffs. More than 130 foreign students filed a lawsuit against the U.S. administration over the revocation of their visas with little or no explanation. Meanwhile, the U.S. Department of Homeland Security has threatened to remove Harvard University's eligibility to host international students unless it turns over disciplinary records. Anna Chen has more details.
U.S. President Donald Trump's pressure campaign on U.S. universities continues, as over 600 international students and recent graduates from more than 100 colleges and universities have had their visas revoked or their immigration status changed by the State Department. According to the compiled data by media, some of these cases were related to their activism and participation in student-led protests against the war in Gaza, while others have minor non-criminal offenses such as speeding tickets. The crackdown now led to a wave of lawsuits, including one filed in Atlanta, which involved 133 foreign students from India, China, and other countries. Judges in at least 7 states also issued emergency orders barring immigration authorities from acting against students, such as deportation. In its latest escalation against educational institutions, Trump's administration warned that the Harvard University will lose its ability to enroll foreign students if it does not share information on some visa holders with known threats to other students or university personnel or obstruction of the school's learning environment by the end of this month. With over 6,700 international students attending, the university reiterated they will not surrender its independence or relinquish its constitutional rights. This came after the government froze over $2 billion in multi-year grants and contracts at Harvard. After its leaders refused to make key policy changes, the White House also is demanding of other elite U.S. colleges. Anna Chen, Cable News.
Now let's take a look at the stock market. The Hang Seng Index ended the day up 338 points. Top active stocks of the day, Tracker Fund was up 38 cents. Tencent was up $10. SMIC was up 60 cents, while Chifeng Gold was down $1.50. Hong Kong's Exchange's Chief Executive Officer Bonnie Chen claimed a spot on this year's Times Magazine's list of the 100 most influential people. Times Magazine said Chen, the only Hong Konger on the list this year, had proactively pushed to eradicate all male boards from the city's listed companies since taking office as the first female chief of the Hong Kong boards last March. She also helped the city reclaim its top 5 IPO ranking worldwide. Other people on the list include U.S. President Donald Trump, Tesla's founder Elon Musk, and Facebook's founder Mark Zuckerberg. The Mediterranean shipping company is reportedly considering carving out 2 controversial facilities in Panama from their deal with BlackRock to acquire a swath of ports from C.K. Hutchison. Citing people familiar with the matter, the Wall Street Journal said the Pontes, the Italian tycoons who control the MSC shipping empire, have held discussions about moving ahead with the bulk of the deal, involving terminals at 41 ports on 5 continents, while disputes over the 2 Panamanian ports are resolved. The discussions are moving on parallel tracks, the people said, and separating the Panama ports would ultimately require the parties to reach a new agreement. That's your news tonight. I'm Quentin Yang. Thank you for watching. Good night.